Okay, so I'd like to welcome, everybody, I'd like to welcome my next guest, Amy Pest. Amy Pest is here.
Hey, actually, it's Amy Bugg.
Yeah, that's what I said.
No, you said Amy Pest. Bugs are not pests.
So you didn't just put out a special called A Pest Life?
No, I didn't put out any special. I lack motivation.
So, Amy? Amy?
Amy. Yeah, Amy.
Amy.
Bugg.
What's up, yardies? What's going on? Glad to be here. Welcome to the Backyard Variety Tour. Thank you. There's no time for that. Sit down. Thank you very much. Oh, what's that? Oh, you think you could do this? I'd like to see you try. Security, and we're back. First things first, I just want to be a downer, but I just want to talk about last week and what happened when I didn't have a guest. The key to this business is personal relationships. I actually reached out to 4 different people last week and it didn't work out with all of them. I actually filmed an episode with someone and it just didn't work out the way I wanted it to. So that couldn't air, though I used clips from that. You'll notice if you look at the continuity of last episode, I have a full beard in some compared to a handlebar mustaches, and I'm wearing a watch in some compared to some not. So make sure you go back and check out for that continuity. And it's too bad that show didn't work out because at least that person showed up and gave it a shot. I love getting up in the morning. I clap my hands and I say, this is going to be a great day. Beyond that, I asked someone who didn't answer. I asked someone who tried to big league me, someone who's basically an equal but tried to big league me, and I asked them, I'm like, hey, do you want to do the cast? This is pretty much what it is. It's just kind of for fun or whatever, but this is what I'm looking for. And you can check out examples here. And they're like, yeah, why don't you send me like a professional email? I'm like, listen, I don't know if you understand what's going on here, but I just sent you what I'm looking for, and you can take it or leave it, okay? I'm doing you as much of a favor as you're doing me. For example, I had Dimitri on the cast. Dimitri works with Martin Scorsese, Ang Lee, people like that, and he didn't big league me and say, hey, send me a professional email. So I was like, this person's not going to be on the thing. They're not going to be a good show if that's how they're going to be. Unless you love everybody, you can't sell anybody. And then I did book someone. On the day of, I reached back out and I said, hey, you ready to go? And they're like, oh, what time did we say again? Oh, I need some more time. And I'm like, you know what? It's one thing if you remembered and you needed a bit of grace and you messaged me and said, hey, I need 10 or 15 minutes more. It's another if you didn't remember, I'm reminding you, and then you're asking for grace. And now you're putting off my time. And I run this like a business. Time is money. And if you fucking with my time, say it with me, you fucking, wait, where am I? You fucking with my money. You fucking with my money. Say it with me now. You fucking with my money. So that's that. And I said, you know what? I could give this person the leeway because I want an episode with a guest. Or since I'm kind of fired up and ready to go, we're just going to do it. I'm going to say, screw it. We're going to do it without it. Roll with the punches. Tomorrow's another day. And what I realized essentially is that it's because as an actor or a performer, when you're revved up and ready to go, you're revved up and ready to go. Revved up and ready to go, the last thing the production wants to do is say, give us 15 or 20 minutes. We're not quite there yet. You're like, no, I'm ready to go, or else you're not going to get what you need. I've worked myself up to this space. So anyway, so that's kind of like the long and short of it. Just to let you know, I made 4 different interactions trying to book someone and it didn't work out with any of them. So them's just the break sometimes. If this is empty, this doesn't matter. But I will say one thing is when the person told me that they needed time, I made the hard decision. I was like, you know what, I'm going to move forward. And am I hot? Yeah, I'm hot. Am I hot? Yeah, I'm hot. And when you're ready to go, you want to go. And you know, if it was anybody else's podcast, they would have been coming at us just as hard as we were coming at them. And we wouldn't have got the calls. And so am I hot? Yeah, I'm hot. Thank you very much for being here, everyone. Thank you very much. This is episode 806. 806. Thank you for tuning in. We got a lovely show for you this evening. Amy Pest is going to be here. Amy Pest, comedian Amy Pest is going to be here. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun with Amy. We'll get to that in a little bit. First things first, let's get into the obligatory political jokes. Obligatory political segment. So Trump, basically, as horrible as he was, he opened a lot of doors in the media in terms of what you could say versus what you cannot say. So I'm just wondering that now that he's gone, if you're allowed to say Are you still allowed to say Guys, are we allowed to say Did you just bleep that when I said You did. So we can't say it. You think we can? Well, what is it? So they did just bleep it. So I guess that's gone. Bunch of. And in other news, I made the news. Very exciting. Probably gonna cut it out, post it on the fridge. Careful. Okay, so we're not gonna do that again. Careful with the newspaper next time, Bill. Oh yeah, so I've been picking on Joe Rogan a bit lately, but he's an easy target. I mean, he always talks about being so open-minded, but he's fairly close-minded. One thing I watched recently, he had an argument with his buddy Red Band, and they were arguing about which Bond is the most badass, I guess. But then they took it in a completely different direction. Who seems like a real killer? What does that mean, who seems like a real killer? Look at Daniel Craig, because he could kick someone's ass. It's like, just because someone could kick someone's ass doesn't make you the best spy. It's like, that guy is the only believable spy. It's like, actually, someone who would be a believable spy probably wouldn't look anything like a spy. Probably would look like a James Bond, like a model guy, not a fucking strong, muscly guy. And also, fighting and killing people is like the last thing you want to do as a spy. That means you're a super shitty spy, that you got caught, your cover was blown, and now you got to fight your way out. Goes on these rants about, oh, you got to be objective and look at all these different angles and all these different things. But everything always comes down to whose dad can kick the other guy's dad's ass, or who could beat up who. Like, if you actually thought about it for a second, being a good spy does not mean you can kick ass. That's just what the movie is telling you. It's like, oh, being a spy is this and that, and fighting. Being a spy is not that. Being a good spy is being super quiet. Fighting is the last thing you want to do. Killing is the last thing you want to do. Like, he's just so close-minded with all his arguments. It always comes down to who could beat up who. And they're saying, who looks like they could be a real killer? Who looks the most believable? Daniel Craig. Those movies are so far-fetched and bullshit. If you want a real spy movie, look how weird Sam Rockwell looks in Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, which could be based on a true story. Who the fuck knows? It certainly says it is. This fucking thing, get it out of here. Like, he's the weirdest fucking... Sam Rockwell's a weird goofball and he's fucking murdering people in that. So what are you talking about? Who looks the most real like a spy and they need to be muscle-bound fucking idiots to be a spy? Being a muscle-bound idiot is the last part of your spy duty. Everything else is like cover, infiltration, lies, like lying. Things come down to being more complex to who can win in a fight, and that being the answer to everything. Being a good spy doesn't mean you need to look like you can kill people. Like, what? When are spies fighting? Who seems like the real... He kept saying, who seems like the real killer? What does that mean? Take Sam Rockwell in Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, for instance. Does he seem like a killer? What do you mean, who seems like the real killer? What are you talking about? Okay, let's get into the half-ass jokes. Half-ass jokes. You know, wouldn't it be funny to see a Ned Hardy shirt on someone who doesn't normally wear a Ned Hardy shirt? Here's another one I like. Half-ass joke. The Blue Man Group. The Blue Man Group. What are they? Some kind of elitist club? The Blue Man Group? Sounds a little racist and sexist to me. And as always, a special thanks to Russell. Without Russell, we couldn't do what we're doing. Our man Russell behind the scenes. Thanks to Russell and for all his hard work. How's it going?
How are you?
Good. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, no worries.
Amy Bugg, everybody. Amy Bugg. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up?
It says you grew up in Calgary. Is that right?
Yeah, that is right.
What's something about Calgary that what's like a very Calgarian thing that people might not know about?
Okay, Calgary is like very good Vietnamese food. I don't know if people know that.
No, that'd be a shocker. And where are you right now? You're in Winnipeg? Oh, you're in Toronto? I thought when you asked me about Winnipeg time that you were there. Or were you there? Or do you think I'm in Winnipeg?
And I think,
Oh.
are you in Winnipeg? That's what I assumed.
Oh, really?
No, where are you?
I'm in Toronto.
Oh.
Okay, so I watched a video of yours online and someone asked you, how'd you get into comedy? Because you said a friend kind of pushed you into it. They needed to do it for like a project.
Yeah.
And they needed a subject essentially to do it on, right? And you had to
Right,
go on
yeah.
stage. So after that, did you take any courses or anything like that? Or was it just like that one thing and then steamroll straight ahead? Or what kind of happened after that?
Just that. And then it was, learning. So yeah, I think I did comedy in Calgary for like 4 or 5 years.
And then you're just like, I'm going to go to Toronto and try it there because it's like a bigger market. There's more clubs or clubs that I haven't been to or clubs that I went to and I liked or what?
Yeah, I came out here and I was lucky enough to get like an agent.
Yeah, lots of commercial auditions.
Yeah,
Have you booked any?
I did book one. It actually, funny enough, they played it like quite a bit during the pandemic, during the NHL playoffs for like Crohn's, I think. Like,
wow, that's a lot of fun.
So peppy stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just
what
like,
did you have to do?
I just have to like, I just made a face. Yeah, nailed it.
They're like, you got it, kid.
Keep making that face.
No, the face is your thing. Do the face.
Yeah, so I made a face and they played it. And I don't know, I'm like in the back. I'm not like front and center, but some people did notice me, which I guess is cool.
It's a heavy dose. The NHL playoffs, their commercials were always on repeat. Like it was always the same commercials. So
I think some people are probably pretty sick of it by now, but joke's on them. It got renewed for another year.
Oh yeah, they do it. They do it for all of them. They'll buy you out like every year. They get your likeness for a year. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. So like that may never end. Like if they want to keep using that commercial, they may pay you every year. That's why acting's so sweet, because you can, if you like get one of those gold mine things.
Shit, eh?
Yeah. Oh, do you ever hear this? What does it feel like to be a woman in comedy?
Oh yeah.
Do you hear that all the time?
Feel like, but like what it's like, I don't know. It's a question I get all the time that I don't know how to answer.
Yeah, that's stupid. I was just wondering if that was a stereotype that I just like thought would get asked a lot, or if it actually did get asked a lot.
I think it does, or people are like very interested in that, those two, I don't know, colliding spheres, I guess. The overlapping Venn diagram that is that, but.
Oh yeah, so I watched a couple of your YouTube videos there, and you got like a deadpan humor.
Like I'm not like peppy in real life, obviously, but I think it just naturally came because I do have like very severe stage anxiety. So it was kind of like a natural, when I first got on stage, it was kind of like my natural reaction to like doing something that was like scary. And then it kind of worked. So I just kind of like went from there with it. I can't do the like high energy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I switched one time with a high energy comic, and like it was like a show where you would switch sets, and I did his set, and I was like exhausted.
So, Amy, I hear you like karaoke. Why don't you tell us about a couple of karaoke songs that you like?
Yeah, I like to sing 50 Cent. Well, I guess he doesn't sing, does he? He raps.
And what song do you like to sing by him?
I like the deep analogies in the song Candy Shop.
No, earlier in the segment a newspaper hit my head and I had a Band-Aid, but that's Nelly.
Nelly is, he has a Band-Aid on his cheek, I think.
Yeah, mine was on my eyebrow. And yeah, I got hit with a newspaper, flying newspaper. What do they call it? Workplace hazard or whatever. It's just like one of those things that
How'd you get hit
happens.
with a newspaper? Those barely exist.
Spinning newspaper.
Spinning.
Newspaper. Yeah, for a segment.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got hit by a fictional newspaper.
Yeah.
Oh, and that means you're a rapper now?
Well, it kind of means I'm pretty tough. I mean, it gave me some street cred.
Oh yeah, podcast injuries. That'll be sure to up your credit. Yeah, I actually stubbed my toe on the way to this podcast, so I think I deserve a little extra credit too.
Let's give it up. Let's give it up for that, folks. Let her hear it. Let her hear it.
Yeah, I'm tough shit. Well, I had a show. I filmed my first TV thing this year, so I worked hard on that. But
yeah, I saw that. So is that the Winnipeg Comedy Festival?
Yeah.
I saw that. That was your first live taping. Is that it?
Yeah, my first ever be on TV, whatever you call it. It was great. It was actually really, really, really fun. It was, it was during COVID, so I think usually they have like big parties and stuff. So it was pretty tame, but pretty safe in that regard. And
was there an audience?
there was like a socially distanced audience. So I think they usually have it in a big theater, and they had it in a smaller theater, which honestly was pretty good for me.
I wanted to ask you about vulnerability. So if you have a little bit of anxiety, because who wouldn't have anxiety going up on stage no matter what? I have anxiety for performing, whether it's commercials, whether it's anything. If you care about something and you're going on stage to like showcase yourself, you want it. Even for sports, I remember sports, I would get anxiety before like almost any game, a little bit, and then big games, definitely. But I think that's important. I think you need to feel, it helps you feel alive. I think it helps you put a little bit of extra pressure on yourself. Okay, I want to take a second and jump into a little game here that we call Topics Not Trending. This is a blaze that happens in LA. It's been happening, seems like more.
Fires?
Boom, got it. Forest fire.
Oh, shit.
Boom. So, what do you know about forest fires? Are there forest fires in Calgary?
Yeah, for sure. Not in Calgary. Calgary, I guess, doesn't have forest, but it's close to Banff, and there's forest there. I don't know. It's got trees and shit.
It's got trees and shit. I'm gonna quote you on that.
They burn down sometimes. If you drive down the highway, you can see.
That'll be on your tombstone, Amy Bugg. It's got trees and shit.
That's how I describe most destinations: trees and shit.
When I think of forest fires, I think of that bear. What's his name?
Smokey.
Smokey. Yeah. Was he smoking or was he putting them out?
He was teaching you about how to avoid smoke. Even though he was Smokey, so
by smoking or no? Or his name was just Smokey?
His name was just Smokey.
He was never
Smoky.
Which is
a stupid name for a bear, because if
you want to avoid, if you're trying to avoid that,
he should have been named Water or something, not Smokey.
So, okay, this is, so if you were in Canada, it'd be, and you're driving down the highway, and
trees and shit.
There'd be trees and shit. That's trees and shit. So 3 words, okay? You're driving down the highway, you see speed signs. And if you're in Canada, they read with
kilometers per hour?
Yeah, but if you're in the States, they're
miles per hour?
Bingo.
That's what the thing is?
I guess so.
Respect the metric system.
Well, it actually might have been made in Canada and might have kilometers per hour in there as well. I'm in the topic everything, so they actually might be very diverse.
Oh.
They could be. I'm just saying they could be.
So it could be a cross-system catchphrase?
It could be. Or they could just be so conscientious that they acknowledge both.
Well, that's nice of them.
Okay, 2 words. You like live in this. Another word for house, but it's a bit more warm.
I'm gonna say cabin just based on principle.
A straight up house. No, it's like
Cottage?
No, straight up house. Like a house is a
Home?
house is your second word is you get
Alone.
help. You get help from the bank to pay this on your
Mortgage?
so put them together.
Home mortgage?
That's it.
So what is
That's
this?
the answer.
This catchphrase is depressing. Forest fires, mortgages, speeding limits.
It goes in a little bit deeper about how your friend got you to perform. Was it a video project?
Yeah, so she was in film school. So
Gotcha.
it was it was like her final project was this documentary.
So why did you say yes to something like that? Did you have like
Well, she's my best friend and I wanted to try stand up.
Okay.
But
so there was a nugget in your head before that.
Yeah, like her and I had been going 2 stand-up shows to watch. So it was definitely like something like, oh, maybe I could try that. But I am a tiny little baby. So she knew me well enough to know that I probably needed a fucking push.
Oh, needed the push. Oh, interesting.
So like once I did it, it's done. I kept doing it, but
you caught the bug. And that's it for me, folks. We'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by. Got the pest.
Simply the pest.
Simply the Pest. Hey, that's a great album or special for you. Winnipeg Comedy Festival. Want to get back to that for a second. How much time did you get on stage to do that? 5 minutes, 7 minutes? How does that work?
I think 10.
Nice.
10 minutes. And I think when they put it up TV, they chop about.
Did it already play on TV or can people see it anywhere or what?
I think it comes out this year sometime.
Gotcha.
So it hasn't been on TV yet because I feel like hopefully
on what, the Comedy Network?
On CBC.
CBC, okay.
Yeah. Hopefully they would tell me. I think it would be on TV. I think so. Yeah.
It seems like it should be. Did you think about what the first funny thing you remember is?
I mean, the first funny thing I can that I remember truly belly laughing at was in junior high school. I went to, I don't know what you would call it, new aged junior high. So we had to practice this yoga eurythmy stuff. Do you know what that is?
I've heard of yoga, but I don't know what eurythmy is.
It's this I don't know. It's like yoga with dance, kind of.
Okay.
I don't know if that is someone who knows.
I don't know if you saw my latest episode, but I make a fool of myself. Star Wars Kid. Do you remember Star Wars Kid?
Sounds familiar.
He was the first viral video, pretty much.
Yeah.
Anyways, I kind of do some yogi eurythmy in that, I guess you could say.
Oh yeah. And you would
hang on. So you don't remember Star Wars Kid?
No, what is that? A kid that likes Star Wars?
Yeah, so it's kind of it's a sad story, as I'll take from Garrett in my last. It's a sad story, but an uplifting story all at the same time. So what happened was this kid is an AV tech at a school in high school, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And he's got this broom or long thing that he's going to use in performance-based, and he thinks he's pretending he's in Star Wars, and he tapes himself. And then what happened is he's the AV guy for the JV basketball or something like that. And then bullies from the basketball team or something got a hold of the video and put it on the internet. And the guy became the first viral video pretty much. And went through torment, bullied, Imagine that, right? Like now people can't wait to go viral, but this is before when he didn't want to be embarrassed in this stuff. So what he did was turn it around on them. I think he sued them, he won his lawsuit, and then he went on to become a lawyer too. So it's a pretty reverse baller story, but also like it's just kind of hilarious if you go watch that. It's got 36. I just checked it out because I had to make the video. So I did my research and tried to mimic a lot of his moves. But it's got 36 million views on YouTube, and it was from 15 years ago.
36. Wow. That's
36 million. Yeah. The YouTube monetization for it.
Can you like sue your bullies then?
If I think if they make a public display of it, yeah.
Oh.
I think if they make a public display of you.
Damn. So you gotta trick your bullies into going public, eh?
It would have to be something actually embarrassing to you. Otherwise, it would never hold up in court.
Okay, what if I just go around and start pantsing myself in public and somebody catches it on camera?
Pantsing yourself?
Yeah, I pants myself.
You pants yourself and then blame it on someone else?
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's Amy here, just filming my video, just coming back from the fruit market after buying some delicious fruit. Oh! Yeah. Well, who would you sue?
Whoever's closest to me. You know, the smell should have thrown them off. They should have gotten further away. But...
Oh, okay. So one thing before we go here is I do a little something called the gauntlet.
Oh God. Okay.
Okay. Amy, welcome to the gauntlet. What's the most useful thing that you own?
Sweatpants.
What noise do you love?
Farts.
What noise do you hate?
Farts. The longer ones.
Favorite word?
Fart? I feel like I'm in a rut.
Favorite piece of clothing?
Fartless. The unfarted clothing.
Fartless underpants?
Fartless. Clean.
Fartless sweatpants.
Yeah. Sweatpants without farts. Farts on the side.
Farts on the side. What does the world need most?
More farts?
That's great. That's good. Thanks. That's awesome. That's it. That's all. Amy Pest, everybody. Amy Pest. Thanks for being here.
It's actually Amy Bugg.
Oh, that's right. Amy Bugg. Amy Bugg, everyone.
No, wait. Sorry. Amy Pest. Wait.
Hey, I don't have all the answers. To be honest, in life, I failed as much as I succeeded. But I love my wife. I love my life. And I wish you my kind of success. These, what is it? Better hang on to a pen here and make me look smarter.